All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday, July 15th. We got the MLB All-Star Game here to dive into in today's video. Very excited. We are live, so go ahead and get all your thoughts on the game and everything like that in the comments. We'll go through, we'll chat it up with you guys. I got a couple things that I'm kind of circling right now, seeing if we want to lock it in. Actually, we did take something last night, but very excited for that. We actually made a kind of a rough draft MLB dashboard for the game. You can see here, like, it's very, very bare minimum and bare bones as to like what we usually have. But we have Tarek Skubal on the mound for the AL, Paul Skeens on the mound for the NL, and then we have the starting lineups here. Obviously, these guys, you know, will have one or two plate appearances, and the starting pitchers might pitch one or two innings. Like, that's a little bit different, obviously, right? Like, you know, it's not like this is the gospel truth or anything like that. But it's a little bit more than what we're normally working with, right? For an All-Star game. So have a little bit of data there. But yeah, we'll dive into this game. We'll give our thoughts. We'll talk about, I guess, what we're going with today. So let me know in the comments what you guys ultimately are rolling with. I will preface it and say, just like we did with the home run derby yesterday, keep in mind that this is, and it should be more of like a, you know, entertainment for fun and all that when you're looking at the home run derby or the All-Star game or any sports All-Star games or competitions, right? Nothing's really consistent, right? So when we talk about what we like and whatnot, let's not come in here thinking, like I said yesterday, that we're going to bring home the bacon with the home run derby, going to bring home the bacon with the All-Star game. It's just got a little bit more entertainment on the game, right? MG says the voice is low. How's the audio to everyone? Because I'm seeing it okay on my end. Good morning to everyone out there. We got, let's give some shout-outs in the chat here. Give a W in the chat if you are in here early. We'll give some shout-outs to you guys. Yeah, Aaron, the dashboard is a must for the second half. We are seriously adding some cool stuff to it. We just added the bullpen to it, which is really, really great to be able to see how these bullpens are taxed and who's pitched and all that. We're adding more and more. We have the pitch mix rating. So yeah, very excited for our dashboard, which is cool because, like, if you are a member right now over on GuyBostonSports.com, head to the members area, and you're getting that dashboard, like, you're in the growing phases with us, and it's super cheap right now, which makes sense, right? Super, super cheap. But over time, as that thing gets more and more, just for, you know, the time it takes to build, it'll be more and more, but you get to stay in at the price that you jumped in at, which is pretty damn cool. Mike says it's the earliest you've been. Yeah, so we announced it yesterday on our live stream that we're going to do a lot more live content, especially for our MLB picks. So you guys can expect, even after the All-Star break, as we come back with our normal MLB videos, that you might be able to catch me live in the morning. The video will obviously live on with YouTube and whatnot, so you guys can watch it. Nothing should change for you, but it'll be pretty damn cool to you know, be going live, interacting with the chat as we go through our plays and whatnot. So yeah, all right, let's give some shout outs here. We got Impatient Jeremy, we got ESPI, we have Ein, not sure if I'm saying that right, Jose, Jason, Lil Bank, we got a bunch of people, Mike, we already talked about, Ebony, we got Al. Appreciate everyone tuning in here live. Appreciate all the good mornings here. It's so hard to do. It really is. Takes a lot of time. Like, I've even, you know, I've relied on ChatGPT a lot for it, but it's difficult. I can give you some more pointers and whatnot. We don't have to make the show all about that, but if you want to DM me over on Discord, if you want. Yeah, Mr. Smav, let's go. I always get, you know, it's tough, the life I live, right? Keeping up with the usernames and the names on the same account. Because sometimes, you know, we'll know the username or the name, and then depending on what YouTube's showing that day, it's tough. But yeah, all right, guys, let's go ahead and talk. Let's talk a little bit about what we have in this game. So like I said, we have Skubal on the bump. He's going up against Paul Skeens, which should be an unbelievable pitching match, as we already know, right? And then I think we have Skubal and another good pitcher once we get back from the All-Star break on Sunday Night Baseball, which will be pretty damn sick. But all right, in terms of the lines right now, so pretty much a pick 'em, as you know, usually would make sense. But the total's bouncing between 7.5 and 7, we've seen as of right now. So kind of going to dig into there. I do have one play that I've already locked in that I will share in a little bit once we kind of get into the flow of things. Then I have another one that I'm circling, but I'm not loving the odds on it. So I'm thinking we got to find like a parlay piece to throw in with it, if that makes sense. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But yeah, first off, I wanted to kind of go through this with you guys just to give us a little bit of a sense as to where the trend is, because it has been AL for a while, right? I mean, AL won last year. NL did win 2023, and then I believe they won in, before that, let's see, 2012. Like a lot of AL wins here, right? Now, if you look at these lineups, like especially on our dashboard, you can see Torres, Green, Judge, Raley. Shout out to him for winning the home run derby last night. Vladdy, O'Hearn, Caminero, Javi Baez, Jacob Wilson. I don't know if that necessarily stacks up as much to like what we're seeing with Shohei, Acuna, Marte, Freeman, Machado, Will Smith, Tucker, Lindor, PCA. Like this seems like a NL lineup that you want to back, right? The problem is you have a lefty starting pitcher, not just any lefty. It's Tarek Skubal, and more than half these guys, 6 of these guys in the last 30 days don't exactly have the best lineups against, best numbers, in the lineup against the left-handed pitcher. That being said, it is just the starter for the All-Star Game. We can't necessarily sit here and think that it's going to be, a 9-inning type performance from Skubal. That's not how All-Star Games work. So I do think I start to lean, in a sense, a little bit towards, I guess, towards the NL. In fact, let's get a poll up here just in terms of a money line, because I'd like to see what you guys are doing. Because essentially it's a pick 'em right now, right? But go ahead and vote on that poll, and we'll see how that goes. But right now, I do think that there's a part of me that's leaning towards the NL just because of the offensive lineup. One thing that we already do like right now is, we'll throw it up, the Nerfy. Last night got it at -140, so you're paying a little bit of juice, but that was on MGM. This thing's at -160, -165, -175 elsewhere. So I do think the Nerfy could be a decent look here. It's the All-Star Game, right? Like, it's not like we have to overthink this. Anything could happen. You have best talents on either side. But usually for those first couple innings of the All-Star Game, it's like pitcher, 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 right? Like, that's where the focus is. And if we're focusing on pitchers, Skubal and Skeens, I just can't look at this and be like, no, don't pull the trigger on the Nerfy. Especially when I feel like we're getting 20 cents of value on MGM compared to most other books out there. So play number 1 is going to be the Nerfy. I will say, just like we did mention, on the, what am I trying to say here? Just like we did mention on the home run derby, right? This is going to be a spot in which, even if we hit anything or we cash, like, I don't think we're going to track towards the final record. That doesn't seem too genuine, especially when I lead off the show saying like, oh, this is all just for fun, and extra entertainment, that type of stuff, right? So this is, yes, a Nerfy is going to be something that we end up rolling with and end up, locking down already. We already did. So I just don't necessarily think that it's going to be something that, we're all over in terms of tracking and really just being like proud of it and that type of thing. Like, I don't want to get too far into the weeds there. Yeah, we can look at, do you want to look at the rosters there? Because Dennis is saying which squad has the better pitching. We can go through kind of the reserves and everything like that too. Let me pull up the lineup so we know, because again, like, this is tough because you have reserves that'll come in and that type of thing. So let's see if we can pull up the reserves just so we know which players on which team, right? Because if you guys don't know, this will be helpful. I don't believe these starting lineups are in order, but here we go. We'll go through this really quickly for you guys. This is the AL, right? Raleigh, Guerrero, Glaber, Caminero, Wilson, Judge, Green, Baez, O'Hearn, Skubal. And then the reserves are right here. We don't have to go through them all, but I do want to look at the pitchers, right? So obviously getting the start, you're going to see Skubal, but is this the correct one? Do we have this right? Believe so, yeah. So if you guys want to take a peek at it, screenshot, whatever, this looks like it's the lineups and what we have here, right? When was this updated? Just July 13th, a couple days ago. So you can rewind, screenshot that if you want to look at the reserves. You ask, you know, like which lineup has the better pitching. All these guys are pretty damn good. They are really. I do think the AL may. I'll say that. But to me, it's pretty damn close. Lex says, what's a nerfy? So a nerfy is no runs in the first inning. So you might also see it as under 0.5 runs in the first inning or under the total in the first inning. So it's under 0.5 runs first inning, also known as no runs first inning. Hopefully that helps. What did this poll conclude at here? So AL 56%, NL 46%. Let's run another one. Do we like the nerfy? $56.43, especially when I was just leaning towards the other side of it, is a little worrisome. But again, like, we're talking All-Star Game here, right? It's nothing too serious. Let's see. SF has NL money line, under 7, and the nerfy. That's probably where I would what I would look, towards, right? Let's see. Kiri says, man, Cal Rayleigh proved us wrong, but we was right about Jazz Chisholm. Oh my God. Everyone called it. I can't even say we called it. Nothing was surprising about what we saw from Jazz to me or to a lot of people. But like at the same time, it's still like, oh my God. Ugh. Let's see. Sportside Jacob says, good pitching outdoes good batting. I 100% agree. And honestly, like, MLB is still one of those sports that, like, the All-Star Game remains low scoring, right? Again, look at these last few years. 5-3, 3-2, 3-2, 5-2, 4-3, 8-6. All right, make a liar out of me. 2-1, 4-2. We're dating back a year, 10 years, you know what I mean? So I totally agree with that. And I actually got the nerfy, I think, at minus 140. I'd still like it at minus 160, right? Because, again, the value and the juice you'll be paying is going to be different on this sole kind of, flagpole standalone type of a game. But I do think that should be the move. I mean, you have the two best pitchers in the league. You know what I mean? Like literally the two best pitchers in the league. At some point, you got to be like, all right, let's isolate it to that. Let's trim the fat. Boom. Nerfy, again, we'll pop it up. No runs in the first inning is what we're looking at here for our first spot there. I kind of want to have a little bit of rooting interest past that, though. You know what I mean? Like we'll be watching this, first inning goes by, and then it's like, all right, well, what do we do now? So we shall see. Jacob, you said Wheeler, Cy Young at 125 is a joke. So I got that, luckily. I talked about it, I think, in yesterday's stream or the video before. I think at Wheeler plus 190. And then the next start afterwards, he moves into the lead at minus 125. Don't like it at minus 125 at all, compared to what I got it at. But I still think that Zach Wheeler is just like the most underrated pitcher in the league. As crazy as everybody knows how good Zach Wheeler is, but he's so underrated. Now maybe he's getting his flowers at minus 125, but plus 190. Got a little lucky there in terms of the timing, but I just kind of wanted to throw it in there and add it as a future, and love that value. All right, so let's see. What do we? It seems like people are liking the idea of the nerfy. 77% of you guys say that you like that nerfy, which is the no runs in the first inning. Just to clarify again, let's do this. I'm going to put the total at 7, but there is some 7.5s out there, and it looks like you can boost to 8.5. I think I saw Jacob say he had. A lot of comments about being early. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess we're earlier than we normally are. But we will be doing some more live streams early. This video will obviously live on YouTube for the rest of the day and that type of thing. So if you guys watch in the afternoon or lunch break or something like that, like it's still gonna be the exact same thing. But we're gonna try some live streams, for our daily plays moving forward. Dennis says, not even 20 likes yet. Come on, people. This dude is a legend. I don't know. Hey, I'll take it. I wouldn't say legend, but I'll take it. Guys, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Really do appreciate it. I know it sounds like second nature to be like, oh, I really do appreciate it, but I really do appreciate it. You know what I mean? Getting a sense of where everyone is at, because now this one's interesting, right? 50-50 on the total at 7 in terms of the vote. So if you guys are seeing that, make sure to go ahead and vote. Repent says Skeens is getting screwed over by his offense. 1,000,000%. Like, he has some of the most crazy numbers for being where he is at win-loss wise. Israel says Cal still, so we like Cal to go out there and hits, runs, and RBIs plus 175. The only thing I worry about with some of these player props, and I do think it's a fair concern, would be the fact that it's like some of the, do we always see multiple at bats and that type of thing? Like, or are you looking for like 2 hits, runs, and RBIs in 2 at-bats. These guys usually will get, 2 at-bats, right? And then the reserves come in for 1, depending on the score and whatnot. But we'll see. I'm kind of not, I don't even think hesitant's the right word, but weary of some player props, right? Like, I've even seen people say Scooble under 1.5 strikeouts, and it's because you're accounting for him to pitch, 1 inning and just strike out 1 out of the 3, which would actually be a fine normal start to a game. But at that same time, it's like, well, what if he's just absolutely on? You know what I mean? Last year, Paul Skeens 1 innings pitched 0 Ks. Scooble 1 innings pitched 0 Ks, right? I think there's 9 strikeouts and 6 strikeouts on either side, so not that much to go around. Okay, that's really good information. Jacob says there's no reserve behind Lindor besides Ellie. Ellie for the NL shortstop. So, okay. All right, that is good to know. But I still think that the hesitancy is there too, you know what I mean? Because what I would say is it's like, not necessarily that you're thinking shortstop to shortstop, because you're right, Jacob. I'm still thinking like it's All-Star Game. They want everyone to get their at-bats, even if they have to throw a third baseman in there to get an at-bat or something like that. I could see it. Not saying that will happen, but you know what I mean? You're going to do guests? Like, yeah, I would like to have some guests on the show and whatnot too. D Zorro, do you do in live stream? Yeah, so we talked about it yesterday. I do think that there's going to be, I like the idea of live, right? And I've talked to Kyle about it a bunch too, and how he's actually really enjoyed it and all of that. So I think that we're going to start doing more lives in the morning with our plays. We can go through the normal video, talk about the games. We also have some feedback from you guys with the comments and all of that. And then as we, as the video lives on for the rest of the day, it's just like the normal video that we normally have. So that's kind of the thought process. Nothing should change if you like watching the videos and that type of thing. But to me, it's just like an added bonus to be able to come in here and chop it up live with the comments, Exactly, Jacob. Yep. Strikeouts could be an interesting one. I see SF saying rally to strike out. I don't know. The only thing that we have, just for anyone that's jumped in, late here, not even late, but jumped in now, we have the Nerfy. So no runs in the first inning. We're running a poll still for the total, and people are looking the over. I think I'm leaning under and leaning towards the NL, but I just want like a dog in the fight. The Nerfy is great, but again, we're doing this out of like rooting interest and right, whatnot. We should be, right? The idea of 1 inning and all of a sudden it's like, I'm out. What do we do now? I want something to sweat out. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that ends up going. Lil Banks is Tarek Skubal over 98 velocity first pitch. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because he does, I don't know if you guys have seen interviews with him and stuff, like he does like the idea of throwing hard. He talks about it in so many interviews. So many interviews. Jacob's on the NL money line. That's kind of the direction I'm leaning in, but here's Jacob. Here's the thing. I'm like, I feel burned for not getting plus money. Do you know what I mean? Like taking, I guess that's what essentially. Diving into the dashboard real quick, I wanted to call this out. I highlighted a couple names. This is available over on the website, guys. So if you do want to check it out, I'll post this link in the comments here. It's normally going to be a little bit more built out and whatnot. In fact, this might load some of the data here for before the All-Star break. But as this loads, I'm live streaming, it's going to take a while. But anyways, here it is. This is what the dashboard normally looks like. There's a bunch more in here. Obviously, we have a bunch of missing numbers and whatnot, just because of this is an old game. But right now on the dashboard, you can sign up and you guys get access to that every day. But right here, we do have this built out, but it's very, very manual today. What I have here is 3 highlighted guys that I actually like the pitch mix for, okay? Meaning, Riley Green, Vladdy Jr., Ronald Acuna Jr. I'm looking at Scuba, looking at Skeens. Yes, we're probably only going to get 1 inning. I know we can only go so far with the data right now. What I like out of this. So it's almost like if you really want to go crazy, you could even look at first at bat type of a thing, because there's a chance all these guys get up first. I mean, definitely Riley and looks like Acuna. But anyways, what I like here, so we know Skeen's going to go fastball. That's a big pitch to look at. So we wanted to make sure no one really sucked at the fastball when we were looking at this. Then he goes slider and splitter. There's really only one AL guy that absolutely jumped out. Vladdy Jr., 4 point, what is that, 4 point, we got to zoom into our own thing here. Vladdy Jr., and I zoomed in so much, jeez. But this will work. Vladdy Jr. 4.6 in terms of runs above average last 30 days against the fastball, against the splitter, which is that next pitch, 20% of the time, or third pitch, 3.3, and then the slider, he's got a 1.5. So all positive for Vladdy Jr. That might be a guy that you could look at. You know what I mean? You go down to the other one here. We don't need to scroll. Ronald Acuna Jr. You're going to get fastball, sinker as the 2 main pitches. He's the only one that really hits that sinker really, really well. So, it's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough that I like NL, but also all these guys seem to not hit that pitch well. But I keep saying, and it's going to be like a broken record type thing. It's a little bit different because, we're looking at those as if it was, we're going to get 7 innings out of Skeens. Or it's like, no. We're going to get 1 inning out of these guys. Guys, make sure if you are in here, you are hitting that like button. Really would appreciate it. Way more people in the stands than we've seen from the like. So let's see if we can run up those lights real quick. It does help me. It helps the channel. And yeah, very exciting to do some of these live streams, right? Like we got a way to go. I talked about it yesterday. Quick rant here. We started YouTube doing live streams and Celtics videos. That's how we kind of got our start, 5-6 years ago. So, I do love going live, love live streams, but it's going to be a new venture for the sports, daily picks thing that we're doing. Hoop says Skeen's immaculate inning. Can you imagine? What were the, I was looking at some of the odds for those immaculate innings, and it was crazy, like plus 50,000. Am I making that up? I think I was seeing stuff like that, right? Where did I even see those? What book? I was like, holy crap. I don't know where that was now. I can't find it. Chris says went Nerfy and under 2.5 runs in the first 3. Yeah, I don't mind that. That's probably what I would look at. Like I said, my leans right now are NL and the under, but one thing that we've already locked in is the Nerfy. So I'm on with the Nerfy with you guys. I like that. But it's just, I kind of want another thing. But even to Jacob's point here, I don't want to take a side because I want to watch her fun. Like I'm kind of on that. I don't want this to be ruined. You know what I mean? But the Nerfy just seems like it's a little bit too early. So maybe a guy to get a hit or something like that could be something that we consider, right? Like that could be something that we kind of get behind in a sense. Under 9, and so an alternate line with the NL money line. Is that what you mean? Jacob, we really haven't, dove into. I had this problem yesterday. Dive, whatever. We haven't gotten to a specific player prop yet. Maybe we should do that pretty soon. Start kind of diving into some guys. But again, I'm so weary of that, right? SF says big dumper takes a dump for Skeens. Yeah, I don't mind that. Under 9.5, I mean, even looking, not that history matters at all when we're looking at this, right? Like, we have to remember that, but it doesn't hurt to talk about. 8, 5, 5, 7, 7, okay, 14, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 8, 3, 8, like, we've only seen one in the, we've only seen 2, 3 in the 2000s. Well, I guess back here, we've seen 4 since 2000 that have gone over 9.5. Pitching. You know what I mean? Like it is. It's when you have these isolated pitchers pitching 1 inning against these batters who, yeah, they've seen multiple times and whatnot, but a fresh pitcher coming in against a batter who's already batted twice now maybe is feeling not it. Either way, I feel like it doesn't work in the hitter's favor. If they just saw Scooble good and someone else comes in, it's like, oh, now it's a whole different look. If they're hitting bad, then damn, they're already kind of in like a deficit in a sense because they are not feeling it today. So yeah, I do think for sure that pitchers have the advantage here in the All-Star game. The problem with that, and it is a decent problem to note, is that like, okay, well, if the pitchers have the advantage, how can we scheme it out? Because they're only going to pitch, a handful of pitches, handful of innings, right? It's like, that's the concern. Okay, pitchers have the advantage, but we can't even isolate exactly which pitchers. I can get behind that. SB says Jazz under. There you go. That's probably a winner right there, right? Him in the oh my God, that home run derby performance. We talked about it earlier, but that was just absolutely brutal. Brutal. Cole says, you don't fear the under. I say that, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's kind of on the side of this. Nerfy, under 0.5 in the first inning. My fear, and I say don't fear the under, but my fear is that you're taking an under with a lineup that has Judge, Vladimir Guerrero, Acuna Jr., Shohei. Could tell, like, these guys, one swing of the bat. Okay, so Jacob, that kind of reminded me. I have 2 spots that I like. The race to, I think I did race to 5, neither. I didn't take this yet, but that's a lean. And then also, both teams to score 2. So I'm sitting here saying under. But at the same time, it's like, I still think that both teams can rattle off 2 runs. So those are 2 that I kind of like too. But I like the idea of race to 6, neither. What do we think of this conspiracy? Because remember on the live show yesterday, I said that I think that they're going to juice the home run derby balls, and even the books had the farthest home run at like 479, something like that. That thing was getting crushed. What did Cruz hit one? 513? What if they're juicing these balls? And again, it's just a conspiracy here, but here I like the under. Here we're saying neither team to score 6 runs. What if there's a juiced ball out there? Such a like obviously terrible way to defame a player, not like a player, something like that. I get it, but we could see 6-1. Not that I don't think that would happen, and an under still cashes. But to your point, Jacob, we could see 5-4. That thing soars over that total of 7, and neither team got to 6. So I like that. Let's see. Rob, you say FanDuel is a Skeens first pitch velocity bet, all at plus money. Any of your resources help narrow down what his first pitch tends to be? I'd say fastball. That's what I'd go with. You know what, Jacob, you obviously, I assume, knowing you, odd shop that's the best price out there, huh? Because you know what, it might be something that I like to jump on board with too. You know? Let me, that might be something that we want to jump on board with too. Spoons, what's up? Thanks for checking in here, my man. Yeah, Jacob, let me know what you got for odds there, or what we think is the best place, because I think that might be something that we end up considering. That's kind of exactly what we're talking about, right? Having a little bit of extra juice that lasts us the whole game, but nothing crazy or picking a side, because as of right now, we like the Nerfy. That race to 6 could be a good spot. Jay says, why is everyone saying NL this year? Probably just the lineup. Like, one has more of like a, I would say, like, sexy appeal to it, right? There's a lot of these lineups. Like, I don't think baseball fans know, but Gleyber Torres, Riley Green, even Rowley winning the home run derby last night, but O'Hearn, Baez, Jacob Wilson, that doesn't have like the curb appeal of a Shohei, Acuna, Marte, Freeman, Machado, Will Smith, Tucker, Lindor, PCA. Like, that's just, I think that might be what it is. And honestly, it's kind of getting me, right? Like, I lean towards NL. I don't know if I want to take it or roll with it, but that's probably why people are saying the NL, because of their starting lineup. And you're going to see the starting lineup a lot more than the reserves in terms of, publicized and whatnot. All right, so FD has that, Jacob, huh? I think that might be something that we look at. Fans complained at the last few All-Star games, like the last 10, I would assume. Game won't be an extreme pitcher's park. Calling for runs, a close game. So, yeah, I guess that can still even exist with the idea of what Jacob's throwing out, right? With the neither team to score 6 runs. You know what I mean? Like, I think that can still live with the same idea in mind. Like, this could be a 5-4 game that crushes the over, is a close game, is exciting. Neither team got to 6 in a sense. Let's look at that. Again, the history doesn't necessarily matter. We can't put that thing on a pedestal. But let's just see in terms of history how that looks, right? Didn't happen here, didn't happen here, didn't happen here, didn't happen here, didn't happen here. Once in 2018, didn't happen. That's 7 of the last 8. Once here, that's 2 of the last 9. Once here, that's now 3 of the last 12. But, Spoons, if what we're saying is correct, then yeah, it's like, okay, well, the last 12 might not even matter. The last 12 don't matter in a sense anyways, but just for, I guess, what it is. And I don't think Skeens will pitch. I honestly think that they might go, to be honest, I don't even think Skeens, you say that Skeens might not pitch 6 outs to SF. I think they might just go 1 inning with each of these guys. I mean, maybe a little bit more, because these, bar none, the 2 best pitchers in the league. But I do think that obviously it is still what did they both pitch last year? Every pitcher pitched 1 inning when they came in, right? In terms of starters. But yeah, let's update this. Right now we have the Nerfy and then race to 6 runs, neither. Obviously, we're paying a little bit of juice. I see people in the comments who just said I'm on a no juice diet. No juice diet. Yeah, I can get it. I get it. But you know what? This is just to have a little bit of action on the game. So right now our plays, and this could be what we ultimately just end up locking in, right? Nerfy, meaning no runs in the first inning if you aren't aware. I like the idea of Scooble and Skeens going out there and just shoving for an inning. You have the two of the best 3 pitchers in the league. I think probably the 2 best pitchers, obviously, right? Against good batters, but still pitching outdoes offense, as we said. And then I also like the race to 6 runs neither. This could hit the over, 5-4, something like that. We could see a high-scoring game. This could still be a spot in which, neither team scores 6, right? Kelly says on the Skeens phone call, they said 1 inning. I would assume 1 inning. You do have to remember, too, like, not you guys, I'm just saying anyone in general, like an arbitrary you, have to remember that, like, these guys still have a half of a season to go. I think a lot of people would be mad if Skeens went out there and even pitched into the 2nd inning or something and hurt himself, right? Like, this is still fun for these guys in the sense of really having pride behind it. Like, obviously, you're proud to start the All-Star game. You want to go out there and perform, but I don't think that Skeens is going to be in there being like, come on, give me another. Give me the rock in the 2nd inning. If he does, great. He's a dog. Scooble, I could see doing that too. But, like, to me, it's you get 1 inning out of these 2 starters, right? You found a free play. Let's see. Scooble, under 98, got it once out of his first 5 starts. He only got it. Say that again. What do you mean only once out of his first 5 starts? This season or first 5 starts? This is like a men's softball game. It's for fun. Totally is. I say all the time, even, sports betting in general, a percent of that, decent for me, but for a lot of people, it should still remain fun. Unless you're the creme de la creme, the pro's pro, that type of thing. Like, I get it, right? But we have a freaking brand called Fade Me, guys. You don't think that, most of what I'm doing here is also to have some fun, action, entertainment, right? Like, pay the cost of the amusement park to go ride the ride. You want to win. You want to really try, and I do consider myself someone that will put in the time to try and find somewhat of an edge or something. But at the end of the day, like, I love to sports bet, not necessarily doing it to have the income source of sports betting. I don't consider myself good enough to totally do that. Repent says, why isn't Suarez or Sanchez? I mean, did you see the Phillies when they talked about, it's blanking. I just totally hit a blank. Who was the pitcher that got added and then the Phillies kind of went nuts? They're like, he doesn't deserve it and all that. And I was like, whoa. So Fried gave Scooble the chance to start. I saw something like that. I forget what it was. Someone said someone deserves it, or was it the other way around? Something like that, right? Oh yeah, Mizorowski, miso soup. Yeah, they literally, unless I got by social media and I saw fake reports, but like these guys like absolutely were like, this is crazy. And I mean, it makes sense. It's not like they were just ragging on someone. They were backing their starters, right? To essentially what you said. But I believe that's what it was when they were like, that's crazy. These guys deserve it, all that. And like, Mizorowski's look good, but I guess that is fair, right? You come in for a hot cup of coffee and you're in the All-Star game. It's not hot anymore. It was real? Yeah, I thought so, because I was like, this has to be fake. And then I did like 2 seconds of research, and I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure it's real. So I think this might be what we end up looking at, guys. What do we think of that? Nerfy, race to 6 runs, taking neither. Did I spell neither right? Shout out to me. Let's go. And maybe, just maybe, if we get a little enticed or something, we might look at National League on the money line. Did anyone roll with a MVP play? If you did, sound on the psycho alert alarm. You are a psycho. That being said, it's still for fun. You know what I mean? So I can't even get mad at that. But like, a guy could come in as a reserve, hit a home run, and be like, "All right, like I'm MVP now. I'm the MVP now." Peaker Armstrong, I saw you say that. Ellie, what are some of these odds here? I'm just gonna pull up DK, so I don't know if these are gonna be the most updated. But PCA at 900, Ellie at, what is Ellie at? Jeez, that's gotta be 25 to 1. Jacob, that you think that's got to be because of what you even mentioned about not having the reserve, right? That makes sense. Acuna at 10-1. Yeah, I kind of like those. Everything I like all of those. I mean, Shohei and Judge just seem like such an easy pick, and one of them probably could go deep, and then that just kind of seals the deal, right? This is interesting. Fun fact. This is from Kiri. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but hopefully I am. Nobody is hitting over 300 in the NL, while the AL has several players. Yeah, good point. He could steal. He could score. I like that, Jacob. Yeah, what did my Red Sox there, Duran, what did he do? Last year, right? Was it last year or the year before? He just hit a home. Was it last year? Damn, now I can't even remember. But he hit the home run, right? Yeah, it's a tough market. I mean, the plus money looks great, especially if people are on the no juice diet, right? Like you want something nice plus money. I get it. No home runs in the game. I don't even know what the odds could be on that one, Jose. Let's see if we can find that in like game props or something. Home runs. Let's see. How do we even? Oh, I think I'm missing something here. I lost my place. This is tough. Total home runs. So home runs in the game at plus 170 for no home runs in the game. You could convince me of that. Plus 300 you're seeing. That seems like it might be a nice little plus money nugget there. I don't think that I'm going to roll with that again. I like where we're at right now with these two juice plays, whatever. But no home run for that plus. Like if we're giving the pitchers a lot of credit here, I don't necessarily mind that. You know what I mean? Don't necessarily mind that. But all right, guys, get your last minute comments and questions and whatnot. We're gonna sign off for the day here. Here we go. I'm trying to find that. No, that could be something. I'm glad that we kind of threw that in. Spoon says PCA in the 9-hole. I'm gonna just sprinkle his hit prop. This guy turned down the home run derby to focus on real baseball. This is a spot where the kid is gonna shine. I don't mind it. Cubs fan, correct? So you'd know, or I was gonna say you'd know better than anyone, or bias is coming in through. But you know what? Don't mind it either. Jacob says same. One friend took PCA for a hit. Yeah, see, 9 spot 2, so he's gonna get potentially the third pitcher, which I mean, maybe that is out yet. I haven't sunk my teeth into like the order that they're going through. I doubt that's gonna actually. Even if they kind of listed what their strategy is, it's all going to be dependent. True. If you're not going to have a homer pick in the All-Star game, what are you doing, right? So PCA, I honestly could get behind PCA here. He's one of the best, just in terms of the last 30 days, runs above average, like one of the best fastball hitters on the team. You know that most of these guys that they bring in are going to be, fastball throwers in a sense, just based on the reserves or the pitchers that they have. So yeah, I don't mind that. We might look at some PCA. I could see it. Spoons and Jacob might be convincing me right now. In terms of his hits, though, right? Let's see what that is. Batter props. Haven't shopped it yet, but 1+ hit. Where's it at? Plus 150. Let's add it to our list. I'm gonna put it as a lean right now, but this is something that we could get behind. I like the idea of that. Just 9 spot. I'm almost thinking it of the opposite of like he's going to be in the perfect position of the adrenaline from the pitching sides have already kind of tinkered down a little bit. Like I could see, even though it's Acuna, Ohtani, Acuna, Marte, like Scooble's going to be pumped, right? The third pitcher that comes in might not be like as excited because they're the third pitcher in the All-Star game or anything like that. So we shall see. But yeah, let's toss this one up there. PCA 1+ hits. I probably will lock it in. I want to make sure I get the best line. Spoons, if you're in here still, or Jacob, whoever, or anyone else that has PCA, where did you get the best line? I'm searching now, but if you just know the best one, that might be the help me out. But that might be something that we look at, right? Just to record a hit. I like his spot here. That's crazy. Him to record a hit on MGM's -110. Wow. If you are looking for guys to record a hit, that ain't where you're going to look, okay? Promise you that much. That is ridiculous. -110 when you can, I'm assuming just based on other places that I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen +140 plus. That is crazy. Damn, hopefully no one just raced to MGM and took it. Jordan says, huge fan of this format. Hope you keep this going at least a couple times a week. Listening to your thought process, even on the All-Star Game, has been great. Yeah, I think that, what we'll do moving forward, at least as of right now, we're going to keep this format for the normal daily plays. Same time, 8:30 Eastern time, heading out of the All-Star break. That doesn't mean that we're going to do it long-term, even if it's a success or blows up in our face in terms of like what we're looking at. I just like the idea of, going live, chopping it up with you guys. Maybe, just maybe long-term, it ends up being like, all right, maybe on like Tuesday, Wednesday mornings, whenever we like some of the bigger slates, right? Maybe that's when we'll be going live and doing it. So I don't think that, the recorded videos and whatnot are dead forever or anything like that. But as of right now, I like the format. I like the fact that we could chop it up, talk to you guys, and the video will still live on, right? Now, when we're going through a 15-game slate, maybe I won't be able to, hit the chat as much or anything like that, right? That just makes sense, right? Like, we're going to be trying to go through the games and not making it a 5-hour video because you guys know I could talk. But when we have downtimes and stuff like that, it's going to be really cool to interact with the chat. So yeah, with the All-Star Game, the Home Run Derby, we're talking a lot more to chat, going on a little bit of a rant and explanation like we are right now. I don't know in a 15-game slate if that's going to be as possible. You know what I mean? Like, I think that this is going to be a little bit more difficult when we're going through 15 games, and I already get the comments from the guppies being like, you talk too much. But for now, I think this is what we're going to do. And we do still got to plug the sponsors. We got to pay the bills here. But all right, guys. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Again, our plays, the Nerfy, race to 6 runs neither. Shout out to Jacob for that one. PCA 1+ hits. Spoons convinced me of that bad boy. But it's nice to have a little plus money on the board too, right? So those are our 3 plays. If we add anything, I'll tweet it out and whatnot. But we don't have any like final plays or anything like this. Like, even if we go 3-0 here, this isn't going to count towards our record. I want to make it really clear that we are doing this for fun, right? This is the All-Star Game. Anything can happen in this type of stuff. Anything's possible. But yeah, hopefully we still do win. I'm not just tossing stuff at a wall hoping it sticks. We still want it to stick, right? I'm putting a little super glue in the shit. But guys, you know what? Really do appreciate you for tuning in. I'm seeing the comments. Robert says, Groom says, we're all here because you talk too much. Appreciate the hell out of that. Dennis saying maybe I don't talk enough. Dennis is, that's flattering. I don't know if that's the case. But I really do appreciate you guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.